Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unitfly's webinar. My name is Ines. I am a product marketing associate at Unitfly, and I will be your host today. So today's webinar is about one of our latest features in ExtensionKit Core, which is called the button click trigger. And it's a great feature that gives you even more flexibility in how and when you want to trigger actions in M files. But the one who will tell you all about it is Unitfly's COO, Alan DeBiagi. Before Alan takes over, I just want to say that this webinar is being recorded and that you will get the recording in a follow-up email after the event. Of course, as always, there will be a Q&A session at the end, so feel free to ask any questions and leave comments here in the Q&A section or in the chat section, and we will try and address all of your comments and questions at the end. I believe we are now ready to begin with the presentation, so I will invite Alan to join us. All right, Alan. Are you here? Yeah, welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, Ines, and glad to see you all here. As Ines said, today we will show you the latest feature regarding the button actions. So recently we started with the new framework. We started developing ExtensionKit also on top of the UI framework. So button action is one of our features that is created with the new UI framework. So I'll share my screen now. And start with the presentation. So today, what we will see in this presentation, I will quickly go through latest ExtensionKit core releases since the last webinar that we had, and then we will go through these button actions and 4 use cases that we prepared for this webinar. So the latest ExtensionKit core release on the latest webinar was 25.4. So I will go and show you few major things that we've done in this release, in these few releases since then. So in 25.5, we added new action that is called optical text extraction. So now you're able to extract text from the documents and put that text inside of the metadata. We added a new operation. In object operation, we added new action, deleted objects. Now you can also trigger something when the object is deleted. We also added new trigger inside of property operation. And in 25.5, we introduced the button click that we will show you today. Also in 25.6, we added an email notification that you can set property when the notification is sent, and you can set the property either is it successfully or is not successful. You can also send binary body type that was required for integration with SharePoint. Now you can also integrate M files with SharePoint and send files with binary body in binary format. We also added invalidation model when object is destroyed. So now you can also trigger something when object is destroyed and maybe validate few things. In 25.5, we did a lot of things inside of WordWriter. One of the things I will show you in these button actions. Now you can replace header, footer, update styles, copy content from bookmarks, apply full template, and we added also optional single version execution mode. So basically what was the use case is when partner have one, let's say, one document from the previous template in the production, and now they want to introduced a new template, and they want to replace all the existing documents that are still active with the new template. Now you can do it um, inside of WordWriter. It can replace stuff in templates. We also added a reporting option inside of data transfer. That means when you are importing files, for example, importing files to DM files, then you can get an email with all this information, what is imported, what is not imported, and so on. And also we started moving configurations to environment. That means that you have one environment where you will define email server, and we will see in the latest version also the SQL and HTTP endpoints. Now you can define it on one place and then use it inside of the rules. So you don't have to configure mail server inside of groups or SQL or HTTP connection inside of every rule. You can now define it in environments and then move it through the rules. And this is also great for cloud vaults, because you don't have the rights to do it. You need help from the mFiles cloud operation team. So in 25.8, we did a lot of things regarding the multi-level references and retrieval of these references. This was so that you don't need to do the searches if you can have the reference in depth. So one object can reference another object, then reference another object. So in that way, you can go to your target with references through the references. Before that, you needed to create a new search, and it was costing a lot of time and performance. So we did this implementation for multi-level target references. And in the latest version, as I mentioned, we moved all the SQL and HTTP and vault-to-vault connection to the environment. We introduced a new function, the lookup. That means that you can now trigger, you can now do things inside of lookups. That means, so if something is created, if new file is added or new file is removed, and so on. And also added this object destroy triggered inside of property operations. And we added options to get the orchestrated rule from multi-level reference that is connected with something that I mentioned just before in the previous version. So this is what was done in the last, I think, 6 months. And now we can go to the button actions. So what button action is basically a new trigger type. So you had a lot of different trigger types inside of the extension kit. Button action is one of the new triggers. So you are defining rule as the same as you were as before, but now you can trigger something on the button click. What does this mean? So it can run on the selected object in the current view. Current view means the current view or the selected file or the file that you are looking at. So what is shown on your screen, that is your current view. So you can either run it on the selected file or on all object in the current view, or the object set in the rule. So you can maybe trigger something, but everything, target and source and everything that you want to do can be defined in a rule. So it doesn't matter if you have something selected or you are watching or you are opening some kind of view. But if you want to do something on the selected file, you can select files on do this action inside of the current view. The things how you are triggering that is in a two ways. You can do it on the right click, then you will have these options inside of the right click menu, and then you will click the rule that you have defined or this button click action, or you can trigger it from the three dots menu, and also you will have all these commands here, and you can trigger your rule with that. So this is the whole configuration of the button click. So you will run it. You will say that you will run it on the button click. Then you will define where your trigger will be ran on. So what objects it will take, and then you can configure it. It will be on right click or the three dot menu. You will define the label. You will have some kind of confirmation message. And then if everything goes well, you will have success message. Then if it doesn't, you will have the error message. And here is your order in the right menu or in the three dot menu where you would like to have your commands. So either first, second, third shown in this menu. So let's start with the first use case. So our first use case is zipping files or archiving. So we will archive all the invoices by vendor for selected vendors in the view. So let's first go and I will show you quickly the configuration. Show you quickly the configuration. So this is our view. It's inside of the archive module. So everything is the same as that you created all other views. So what we create, so we have chosen here the button click, and we selected that is ran on objects in the current view. So and defined a few names. So if I go to the M files, I will go to the vendors. I will click the right click, and then I will say, okay, archive all paid invoices by vendor. This is the first confirmation message. I will say yes, I want to continue, and button action is added to queue. So I know that everything is fine. So what we also defined here in the rule is that we want all these invoices that are in paid, we want them to zip. So let's open and put it inside of the source file. So let's open this one, and this is good. So we can open all this and see that everything is zipped. Okay, something is wrong with the zip. Okay, let's check in this one, and let's do another one on this one. Okay, let me check. Okay, something is wrong with the zip. Not sure, maybe this server, it doesn't allow it because I'm on the server. Let's try once more. Maybe it's better to download it. Okay, so let me download it. Download. No. Not sure why it's not opening on the server, but this is the idea how you can zip all the files. So let's move to another one. The another one is by reporting. You can send our logging events report to your project manager for selected project and use it on the button click. Uh, so for each project, user can right click and send this report. So what we are using here is the reporting module. So this the report. So what we want to do. So if I go to the project view, I can open, let's say, mobile application. I can see our logging events here. So I want to report all these our logging events inside of the Excel. So you can configure that inside of the reporting module. So I want task, event, date, logged work, and employee. I want this sent to my email. So this will be sent by email, and I configure that this will be done on the button click. It's also on the right click, so it will send report to the project manager. What we have defined here is that project manager is, it will go to this email address. So we can also check that. Project view. So let's say mobile application. This is our project manager. You can see that my email is here. So this is my email. So I will send this report to myself. Yes. Okay, great. It's in queue. Okay, and now I should be able to get this report. Let me check that. Okay, here it is. So this is the report. Okay, cool. So I got all these our logging events inside of this report. Okay, let's move to another use case. So what the use case is here. So we have, I need to sign all these, I need to approve and sign all these documents, and I want to sign all the documents from the current view. So maybe I will have 1 or 2 or 5 documents that I need to sign. I would like to do it with one action, not one by one, but I would like to sign it all with one action. So this is inside of document processing. So inside of document processing, we have apply digital signature. It's now, sorry. So this is signature. It should be, no, this is not this one. Signed. No. Okay. This should be, oh, it's here. Okay. And what we wanted to do inside of the M files is, if I go to the signature pending, and I can see all these documents that I need to sign here. I want to sign all of them with sign all documents. So we have it here. So I'll put sign all documents. Yes, everything is here. So what it should move them. It should move them to signed. So when I applied all the digital signatures here, it will move them to signed object. Let me check that. So we have it here, still here. There should be. Just do it once again. Okay. Okay. Not sure. Let me just double check. Maybe I need to just refresh. I wasn't refreshing. Oh, sorry. Oh, they're still waiting at signature. No. Okay, we can check after the last. We can check the configuration, maybe after our last case, and see what is going on there, because it worked like 15 minutes before. And the last use case that we had is word writer. So the idea is that we can change one footer and another on this button click from the certain template. So inside of the M files, let's go to the word writer. Okay, so we have changing from footer 1 to footer 2 and from footer 2 to footer 1. So here is the button click. It's on the three-dot menu. So what we are doing, we are reading footer from one document and changing inside of the document that we have selected. Basically, here is not which we have selected because we wanted to show you three dots menu. Now it will change to all doc and docx documents. So let's go to the one document that I have, test one. Okay. So this one have this footer. I don't know if you can see it. Let me open that. So this is the one footer here, and this is the another footer. So this document have footer number 1. So these documents have footer number 1, and we wanted to replace it with footer number 2. So let's replace that with footer number 2. So now what this action will do, so it will find all these docx with this footer, and it will replace this footer with footer number 2. So this maybe will take a while. because it's now changing all these documents with these footers. And when we were testing that, there are like 5 or 6 documents here. So okay, now this document is checked out. You can see that. Okay, it's changed. Okay. Let me open that document. Okay, and you can see also in preview that footer has been changed. We can also confirm that with opening this document. Okay, great. Okay, cool. Let me just double check this one. Okay, this is done. So all these test documents are now signed. Maybe they were just put it in the queue. Yeah, they're now signed, and we also added the certificate here so that they are fully signed and operational. Okay, so this is basically what I wanted to show you, what we wanted to show you, how the button action can be triggered inside of any of your rules, how you can trigger it from 3 dots menu or from right click, how you can use it for different purposes. This is something that these few purposes are something that we think of or that was requested by our customer. There are lots of different scenarios. You can maybe right click and then sign this document or encrypt. We also, as we have the encryption and decryption, you can encrypt the document. There are different scenarios. What you think of, maybe just changing states of certain documents and checking something and validating something and so on. So you can use these actions to trigger your rules. So in basically every module that we have inside of the extension kit. Okay, now we are ready for Q&A.
Great. Thank you, Alan. We already have a few questions. I will read the questions out loud and then you can answer, okay?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So the first question is the zip file added to the non-document object? Is it possible to create it as a single document file and make a relation to the partner?
Yes.
The person is asking because he's not familiar with the archiving module.
Yeah. So this is the archiving module. Yeah, you can create a new object. Yeah, and add a reference to that object.
Great, thank you. The next question is about the button click trigger, and is it only available in mFiles desktop? Can this work with Classic Web?
So it is available in mFiles desktop, but with the new desktop, and it's not available in Classic Web. It also has to be a new web. So it's based on the new framework. So new desktop, new web, it's available there.
All right. Another question, is it supported in the object creation module?
Yes, it's supported. So we put it in all these modules that we think that it should be. So it's new, just a new trigger. So as you have a lot of these triggers inside of every module, it's also button click is also available in object operation. So you can, if you go in direction that you can on the right click create a new document, yes, you can do it. On right click, create new document, and you can define the template inside of the rule, and it will just create new documents. Or if it is related with this one that you are right clicking on, yeah.
Okay, so basically it is supported in every trigger-based module.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question, if you can just repeat your answer, is this available across classic desktop and the new desktop?
From classic desktop, not just in the new desktop.
Okay, thank you. Let me see if there's anything else. All right, for now, there are no more questions. So if you need a little bit more time to come up with your questions or comments, I will just take this opportunity to inform you that we have recently added a new resource to our documentation, which is an expert tips for Extension Kit Core page. And you will find some advice on using Extension Kit Core there, and some example configurations about of real world use cases, best practices, and so on. I will leave the link to this page in the chat just in a few minutes. And also, if you want to receive these tips weekly in your inbox, you can subscribe to our Tip of the Week newsletter, and I will also put the link in the chat. All right, another question. Are there any key use cases that this was written for?
So the idea behind this one, there were two use cases. One was archiving that I just showed you. There are a lot of unzipping and zipping requirements because they got all these files from the vendors, zip files from the vendors, and they wanted to unzip it and have the options to put it inside a different objects file and so on. So this is why the archiving module is created, and then it was a follow-up request for the right click on it to zip and unzip, because now they needed to download everything, then zip it and send it. That was one request for the button clicks, and the another was to sign the last almost the last use case. They wanted to manually sign with right click or sign all documents inside of the current view with one click.
Okay, thank you, Alan. The next question. Hi, what do you mean by sign? Does sign here mean signing a document with a digital signing certificate?
Yes, that means that, yeah. So it will apply digital certificate to all documents in the current view.
Great. All right. We are slowly approaching to the end of this event, so if you have any more questions, share it now. And if you ever need any technical support or help, you can always join our Extension Kit community or contact us through our web.
Yeah, let me just expand this my answer. So you can, because this is the Extension Kit thing, so you can sign it with digital signature, digital certificate if you have one, and it can be in the mFiles or on the file server. You can use that, but also in the right click, you can send it to DocuSign or any digital sign service that you have. So it will be integration it will be integrated using the HTTP module. So right click, send to, I don't know, DocuSign, and it can send it to the DocuSign. It can also be used like that.
All right. I believe that's all. We have no more questions. So I want to thank you all for joining us today, and thank you, Alan, for your presentation. As I said, if you ever need us, you can contact us. And which mFiles version is required is another question.
Not sure. So it can work on all these new versions of the mFiles that have a new framework. So it's in documentation, which is the minimum version for this version of the extension kit. I'm not sure which one is now required.
Okay, we can check that out and get back to
Yeah.
the user, to the person asking. Okay, thank you everyone again, and enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you in our next webinar. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.